Hello my YouTube friends, this is BG with BG Model Workshop. Hey, I just wanted to say hello and let you know what we had going on here at the shop. Last week we spent some time up in Oregon seeing friends and family, and when we had some free time we actually went to a couple of hobby shops and some junk shops to hunt out some vintage styrene. So let's get on with the spoils. First off, I got to spend some time with an old friend of mine, Chris Binnett. He's a model club friend of mine, and when we went over to his house to visit, he took us down into his new work area that he just built for himself in the basement. And while we were standing around chatting about what he had going on and what he had done, he actually started handing me bags of wheels and said, "Here you go. I got no use for these. These were gifted to me by other folks that thought I would use them for something, but just haven't had a chance for it. If you got room in your suitcase, you're welcome to take home as many as you can get." So we cleaned them out actually on wheels and tires. I got two good sized bags of stuff. These are some lowrider wheels. They're red and gold. Makes me think of Christmas. But I mean, how cool is that to go over and visit a friend and that you haven't seen in about 4 years or so, and they just give you bags of stuff. This is a bagged engine. It looks to be like a 6-cylinder inline 6 with some Model A wheels or tires actually. So that could actually come in handy for an old rat rod that I've always wanted to do. Well, when we were hanging out with Chris, he invited us to go over to Tamis Hobbies, which is a hobby store that's not too far from him. And while we were standing around talking about this, that, whatever, my wife walked up to us and handed me this box and said, "Here, you need to get this kit." She fell in love with this Dodge Charger, partly because of the color and partly because it's a Dodge Charger. She's a big fan of those as well. And I was happy to oblige. I haven't seen this kit on the shelf yet. Granted, I haven't been to the hobby shop too often looking for kits lately, but I'm not quite sure how long this has been out. I do see that it's got 2017 copyrights on it, so it must be fairly recent. But I mean, it's even got this kit's got the pistol grip shifter in there. I believe there's a Pro Modeler kit that came out by Revell quite a few years ago. I'll bet this is probably borrowing the body off of it, except we're just changing the grill. And then it's got the reverse scoops on the side, like in here. And the reverse scoops are actually separate pieces that you glue on. But I mean, I've been inside the kit. I looked around a little bit. I'm not going to do an open rocks review. I'm not going to waste your time with that. There are plenty of other guys out there that do far better work with that type of thing than me. But I can guarantee that I will not be doing this one in pink. I've already done my pink car for the year, and probably, I don't know, maybe a yellow with give it a shot. Try out a vinyl top. See how that turns out. But while we were also at the Tamis Hobby Shops, I was surprised to see that they had Detail Master stuff just hanging on pegs. And most of the shops I go to here in Arizona, they don't. There's only a few that have Detail Master stuff just hanging on pegs, waiting to be picked up. So I grabbed some seat belts, some license plate frames. My friend Chris made me buy this one because he said he's tired of seeing my alternators floating in space. And then some mesh work, because I've had a couple of projects where I was like, man, if I just had some grill material or something, I could just really make this look awesome. And then again, some hoses and wiring and stuff, you know, scale hoses and wiring. And the fun thing about buying stuff in Oregon is everything is taxed. There's no sales tax on that stuff. So that's why I like shopping in Oregon. Too bad it's so far away. But while we had some free time before we saw some family, we went to Milwaukee, Oregon, and at an old shop there I used to like to go to, I was able to score this kit. This is the Fujimi kit, and usually these guys are pretty expensive. I scored this guy for 10 bucks. I figured I was going to be missing some parts, but I did go through it last night, and it has everything. It's all there. Body's a little dusty, but that'll clean up just fine with some soap and water, of course. And the decals are a little toasty because the package has been slit open, I think. And they're salvageable. Maybe we'll give them another spray with some of that decal set stuff, the tester's decal stuff. But it's even got the wheels and tires. They're in here someplace, buried down deep. There we go. Love these Porsche wheels. Little thick, but we can actually take off that rear side there, so we can narrow up the wheels a little bit. But I'm excited to have another Porsche for the stash. And then at that same store, I've been keeping an eye on this on eBay, on one of these on eBay, and they're usually $45+ bucks plus shipping and handling. And I was happy to see this one on the shelf. And they were asking $20 for it, and the seller was pretty adamant about it. But I don't think that was too bad for the shape that it's in. It's in fairly good shape. And the thing about these Mustang 2 cars is that, yeah, they weren't produced very well, but they did have a decent style to them, other than the fact that they were just poorly made vehicles. But the design was there, the technology wasn't. But this guy here's got some pretty cool looking wheels. These are a softer rubber. They have a slight amount of give to them, but they're still pretty hard. And then regular street style front tires with treads on them. I've not done much with Pro Stockers, but I do like them as dragsters, and I'm looking forward to building this one. The decals were actually part of the kit as well. That was going to be a deal breaker for me if I couldn't find them, but they were in here. They're just not very well done. I don't know, has anybody done one of these kits before? If you have, shout out, say hey. But the decals, they just look like somebody squirted mustard down the side of the car. They don't really look like a flame. So when I go to build this one, I probably won't do the actual firefighter style car, but I will do some fun stuff with it. But the box art, I just love the box art. Very captivating. And then when we had some more free time, we popped into a place in Oregon City that I used to go to once in a while called Coin Corner. And I got this little guy here. It was still in the factory wrapper, and they were only asking $5 for this kit. I think they figured because the box was crushed that the kit itself was damaged as well. So I threw the dice on this one and went ahead and bought it for $5. And when I got back to the hotel room, I was pleasantly surprised to find out that it was actually in pristine shape inside it. It was undamaged. So the box did its job. It saved the actual product. And I think we should all have in our stashes these little slump builder kits. Yeah, it's a snap tight. Yeah, the challenge level isn't there. But when you want to get the creative juices flowing, something like this can really help out. So there's our spoils of Oregon. When we go on trips nowadays, we always try to go someplace where we can find some vintage kits. We had a lot of luck with that in California on a trip we took not too long ago. So Oregon turned out to be a good idea as well. So there we have it. I have two other kits I'm working on, but I'm not going to do a review on those right now. It's an Opel GT and a Mercedes SLR, and they'll probably carry me through the rest of the year. But until we see you again, we'll talk to you later. Bye.